How's it going, everybody? It's Yeong here, and welcome to Day 51 of the Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective. Before you proceed, I highly recommend you check out Day 52, in which I discussed new Final Fantasy Versus 13 screenshots released by Famitsu towards the end of January 2008, hinting at new characters and scenes. In this video, I'll be discussing the famous main theme of Versus 13, Somnus. The first time we heard the song was on December of 2006, when the very first Versus 13 teaser trailer was released, but we never got a clean version of the soundtrack. There were those who ripped the audio off the footage for those who simply wanted to listen to the track, but you could still hear all the commotion from the trailer while the song was playing. But that would all change 2 months after Famitsu released the new Versus 13 screenshots on January 2008. This brings us to March 26th, 2008. On this date, Yoko Shinomura, the composer for Final Fantasy Versus 13, which is now known as Final Fantasy XV, released an album called Dramatica: The Best of Yoko Shinomura. The album featured all kinds of soundtracks from the renowned composer, and among the songs was none other than Somnus. So on this date, we got to listen to the clean version of the incredible song for the first time. Take a listen. To this day, I get goosebumps listening to this. It's melancholic yet beautiful, which seems to be the tone that the first Versus 13 trailer was going for. Following the release of this album, people would begin to try to decipher the lyrics, which were in Latin. I'm not exactly sure when we finally got accurate lyrics, but suffice to say that we eventually did, and here's what we got. The title, Somnus, is Latin for sleep, and the lyrics begin by describing a god that sleeps and children who are able to light a flame that never extinguishes. But the god will never wake. Interesting to note is that the logo of Versus 13 is that of a sleeping woman, so many people eventually made the connection that maybe the woman in the logo is some kind of goddess. Now, judging by how the lyrics say that the children are able to light the flame that never extinguish, perhaps this suggests this goddess has passed down its powers to its children, possibly referring to the 4 main protagonists before being vanquished or something along those lines. After all, the word sleep can often be interpreted as death, so maybe this goddess passed her powers to her children before being killed or disabled to keep the flame burning, so to speak. God sleeps and the children are able to light a flame and keep it burning. The flames that never extinguish might also symbolize the children's never-yielding will to carry out their quest. Another interpretation of these first few lines could be that the children are literally trying to wake the god who sleeps, which could mean reviving her or summoning her. Perhaps waking and summoning a goddess will be a long-term goal in Verses 13, aka 15, and will somehow be an instrumental part to saving the world, although the lyrics "but he will never wake" seems to suggest that won't be such an easy task. The next few lines describe some kind of tragedy or calamity that destroys every beloved thing. Pretty morbid. From what we know today about Final Fantasy XV's story, these lyrics do seem to be appropriate looking back at it now. But these lyrics might suggest a bigger calamity than war. Perhaps there's another godlike figure who is seeking to destroy the world rather than save it. The yin to the goddess's yang, if you will. But there's hope. The final set of lines state that in the endless night, in despair, he may see the dawn that will awake him in the morning. In other words, all is not lost and the god might eventually awaken. We just might see the dawn after all.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. And I promise you, the dawn is coming.
Just a beautiful song with beautiful lyrics all around, which we finally got to listen in its clean form through Yoko Shinomura's Dramatica album released on March 26, 2008. Now, the lyrics are quite vague, which I'm sure was a conscious decision, so the song could be interpreted a number of other different ways. I would love to hear what your interpretations are in the comments below. Thus concludes today's episode of the Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective. Thank you for tuning in. Look forward to a new episode every day at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until the game launches. And to be further updated on all things Final Fantasy, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out.